This video is going to teach you the settings for your iPhone so you can shoot like a professional photographer with just your phone. My name is Cheryl Vartan, and I'll give you step-by-step settings to take high-end quality photos with just your iPhone. You don't need to have a 14 Pro, but it would help if you have a 12 Pro or later. Before I begin, I'd like to tell you a little story. My girlfriend was taking a trip to Nepal last year, and she was going to be taking her DSLR with her. I convinced her that she didn't need it. She could just do the same quality photographs from her iPhone. In her Facebook feed, I could tell that she was sharing photos with everyone, that she was doing an amazing job. Her DSLR was going to cause her so much pain from back to shoulder that she really wasn't looking forward to that part of the trip. With just using her iPhone, it saved her from carrying around her backpack full of photography equipment, and she said she was able to be in the moment and enjoy the trip. So here's the settings that I recommend. First, you need to go into your settings before we can begin taking photos like a pro. Open your iPhone settings and scroll down to the camera settings first, and then we're going to go into format. Which camera setting should you choose? High efficiency or most compatible? One of the strongest points in high efficiency mode is the small file size. It will save you compression of about 50 to 60% of the storage when compared to most compatible capture settings. For example, an image that normally takes up to about 3 megabytes of space as a JPEG file will only take up about 1.5 megabytes. High efficiency does have an advantage. It has a wider range of colors, which means photos will look better on display that support a wider color gamut. So photos taken with most compatible mode, especially those in low light conditions, look slightly better. And if you're worried about losing even the slightest detail on compression, you should consider most compatible mode. I would recommend most compatible mode format on the iPhone because high efficiency is a smaller file size format, but it's smaller in size and it compromises the image quality by compressing the image. I don't want that. I want to edit my photos. So I want you to use most compatible mode instead of high efficiency. Next, let's go down and enable Apple Pro RAW. This gives you greater creative control when editing photos. This setting also gives you a quick access button at the top right of the corner of your camera, which you can toggle on and off. I like to shoot at 48 megapixels for my RAW files. I want the option of zooming in and recropping the photos from the main camera without losing quality. Let's go to the grid. Go to Settings and then Camera and scroll down to Composition. When you turn this on, let me show you. This is what your camera looks like after you turn on the grid. The lines help you compose your shot. This 3x3 grid overlays on top of the camera app. It's extremely helpful, especially when you have horizontal lines you're trying to line up, or when it comes to styling your photos. HDR stands for High Dynamic Range. I use 4K 30 for video and also recommend turning HDR off. If you do any post-processing with your video, HDR is hard to process in normal editing software. Go back into the main camera setting, scroll down to Preserve Settings. This menu is really important. When you close your camera app, all of your settings reset by default. And here, you can preserve those settings. If you were to reduce your exposure and you would reset it again after you close the app, if you don't have preserve settings turned on. Let's move on to the camera app itself. This tiny little arrow pointing down will bring up this bottom menu here. Next, we're going to go to Exposure, and that is this button here with a circle with a plus and the minus. And then you can just go just a little bit brighter or darker. So I've got that set where I want it, so we'll go back. And here's an example of the flash. So we've got it, there's a slash through it, so we are going to click it on. And And I'm going to show you exactly why I don't like flash right now. So here we go. And I'll show you what that looks like. You can see all the harsh shadows that gives off. That is the reason I don't shoot with flash on my iPhone. So we're going to go back and turn that off. We're going to turn off live view, and that is off right here with the slash through it, and it is off down here also. We're going to turn it off and make sure that it does stay off because we are photographing still life subjects and using a tripod. So there's really no reason to use live photo. So it's going to turn it off and we're going to save memory. And next is the timer. This is great to use if you are your own hand model. I've had to do this before. And we're going to turn that off now for this demo. And to hide this below menu, just click the top arrow button. It is hard to see here, but I'll highlight that for you. And 4.3 Aspect is compatible with print and most social media websites. Finally, to wrap up this lesson, create a habit of wiping your camera lens off. I always carry a soft cloth with me because I want to have a clean lens when I want to use my iPhone camera. And this is the soft cloth I've been telling you about. Just use it. I think this is an eyeglass cleaner. So just use this to clean off your lens area here with dust and fingerprints. Our phones are multi-purpose. We use them for calendars, social media, and of course we use them for taking photos. But because we're using them all the time, it's going to accumulate dust and smudges from our hands, our face. We don't need that. Let's remove it. It might be one of the main reasons that your photos aren't turning out well like you like. This tip will help you get nice, sharp images. Now get out there and photograph something with your professional setting. If you like a challenge, download this 30-day shot list to get you in the habit of creating a photo a day. Feel free to interpret each of these things on your own and experiment with different settings and techniques. Have fun and let your creativity flow.